to let Bondi do a bit of explaining about it because I feel like Bondi knows way more than I do. So I'm gonna let her explain a lot, and then we'll get into the video and stuff
Okay.
regarding what's going on surrounding the Melody Holt situation, Shari situation.
Okay, girl, let me just go ahead and break it down like this. So I wasn't even trying to pay attention to this, but it was all over the timeline. And I was just like, oh, what is going on here? Who is this girl? So Karson Bleu. Girl, I'm hearing she possibly was an ex-stripper turned hairdresser. She's married. She has kids. They trying to do a little something in Huntsville. They go down to Black. They meet the Scotts. They start getting invited to events. We find out that Karson Bleu had a short friendship of 2 months with Ariane. And during that time, Ariane asked her opinion on whether she should do something that Martel was asking her to do. Martel was asking Ariane to make a fake Facebook page and post a video of Melody and him in flagrante delicto. He was getting fellatio from his wife, and he recorded it, and he was to have his mistress post it on Facebook as if it was some random man doing it. And
On
Ariane
Facebook?
on Facebook, and Ariane did not want to do it, and Karson, whatever her name is, she told Ariane not to do it because Mel would press charges, and then they would find out that it came from her or it came from Martel. But either way, she would be left out there to dry, because Martel wasn't gonna save her. He was gonna act like she stole it out of my phone one night or some shit like that, and
Mm-hmm.
act like it wasn't him. But he would still be able to reap the benefits of publicly embarrassing Mel, which is the point. So this all comes out. Everybody's speculating, why did Tisha bring this girl to the tea and all of this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Mel came out with a live today. The live wasn't that long, and she just basically confirmed that everything the girl Karson said, as far as, you know, the video and Ariane's story, was absolutely true, because Martel has sent Mel a clip of the video, like a little screenshot of the video, letting her know that he was going to post that when they got into it last year, and they were going back and forth in their stories. And she said she would call her attorney on him. So we didn't recognize that those things were related at first. Some people did, because y'all be paying close attention and I don't. But when Mel came out, she just basically laid it all out on the table and explained.
Mm.
So
So okay, hopefully I'm at the
Great
top.
recap.
Wow, that's wild. That's some wild shit there, honey. Okay, I
I
think I
was
gotta go
shook.
back a little further. Like, what is going on, honey?
I was shook.
Let me see if this where it starts.
with my then husband.
Shout out to
okay.
Brown Skin Girl. We're using your
Then I
video.
finally said just a
Thank
Yes.
little
you.
bit at that time. But so there was a video, a live that he did where he literally talked about the case and came for me. And I responded to that live. Whenever I responded to that live, he sent me a screenshot of the video, from the video. And I know the video. I remember where we were. You remember details of things. I remember the video that we did with my then husband, by the way, just in case any of y'all are questioning that. And said pretty much like, stop talking about me. I'm gonna drop this, even though I responded to a live you just did about me. Wow. But okay, bet. So I then took to social media and said, revenge porn, really? I don't do threats, I do promises. Sent the screenshot to my attorney
Mm.
with the text message. I have all of that.
Y'all forcing this lady to talk about this shit?
And
Wow.
then that was that, right?
Mm.
So for a couple of days ago, for someone to reach out, because Karson, just so y'all know, she did reach out to me directly a few days ago. So if you think that she didn't, she did. She came to me privately and directly with the information. And I knew she was telling the truth. I knew she was telling the truth because, and by the way, this was August of 2022, y'all. But I knew she was telling the truth because he sent me a screenshot from the video, and I remember the video. So I never in a million years would have thought that you walking away or leaving a situation, divorcing someone, that it will result in them going to the depths of the earth, all the way to hell, to try to literally paint you a certain way, make people believe that you're a certain way, that you're promiscuous, that you was cheating on them in the marriage. All of these things I've sat back and listened to and really chose not to fully address them because it was laughable. Like, it was laughable because I knew all of the untruths in it. But some people ran with what they thought sounded good and what they thought, you know, because they don't want to like me for whatever reason, maybe because they think I act bougie or whatever. So they chose to run with this narrative that this man put out, saying all these things about me, going on national television, calling me a hoe, and all this stuff, that I'm sitting back here saying, this ain't the truth. Like, stop lying. Only for now for y'all to see and for it to come out that this person will go to the lengths of asking someone to create a fake page as a man to drop the video me and him did and act like it's him, the fake man. We've seen him go on this crusade to everyone on this show, to everyone in this city, people y'all don't even know about. We've seen him go on this crusade trying to make everyone think that I'm behind this and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And again, I'm sitting back thinking, no, not accurate. But I just choose not to say too much until I want to say something. I want to go for a minute to what it would have been like had this video had gotten dropped. Because even though it didn't happen, in order to feel it and get it, we're gonna put ourselves in those shoes of someone you were with for 14 years, who you share 4 children with, who continuously claim that they want such a positive co-parenting relationship, but is doing the things that are being revealed. And I say this is going to be the live of revelation today, that are being revealed. I ain't going looking for nothing. God continues to bring things and protect me. I didn't go ask nothing. I'm not going looking for nothing. But if you ain't learned one thing by now, the one thing you should have learned by now is God does not play when it comes to me. Period. Every single thing that has been sent out by the enemy to destroy, to deter, has always turned around and worked out for my good. Worked out for my good every time. So I have the text. I didn't go into detail of what was on the text when I did the post, but I'm going into detail today, and I'm telling you that what Karson said, she's not lying. She's not lying. I believe her 120% because I got the screenshot that he sent me in my phone, as does my attorney, right? So, that's one piece. When we talk about going to the depths, I'll be honest, I don't know what's your end game? What is your end game? Like, what is it that you hoping to gain from this? What's your end game? Because see, another thing I ain't talked about, Another thing I haven't talked about, again, wanting so hard to try to make me seem a certain way. Let's go to this text message because I already sent it to my MacBook so I can read it. Hey, TK. Thank you so much. Also, way to look out on that interview yesterday. It was amazing. She's going to be your co-host. The response is, now, Martel, you gave this woman the limelight. Don't do that. You got a co-parent for the next 18 years, and she's in love with you. You should consider settling with the cream of the crop. Okay. That came to my phone. Y'all know who TK is? I bet y'all didn't even know he was behind that interview happening, huh? I been knew that he took and aided in this interview happening, because what happened is my phone got blown up. I didn't know who it was. Then the text happened, and this is no shade to Tasha K whatsoever. Like, I don't have an issue with her. Never have had an issue with her. But when I wasn't answering, I guess because I didn't know who it was. Happy, she said, happy Tuesday. I know you're laughing your ass off, as you should. Martel upset that the world knows what he likes. Heads up, there's going to be a part 2 explaining my strategy for the interview. I said, oh, thank you for the heads up. Looking forward to talking to you in the near future. She said, best of luck on all your endeavors. Again, going back to the depths of what a person will do to try to turn people against you, try to smear your reputation, try to smear your name, knowing good and well that you're in the position you're in because of you. When does your healing start? That's my question. When does your true healing start? When do you start to really move on? When do you completely let go of the past and what was and move on and heal? When? Because that's what I've been doing over here. But when do you start to do that? My prayer is that you get there. My honest prayer is that you get there, that you allow yourself to get to a place of healing, because being in a place of healing, walking in that feels good. It feels amazing. And if I have been such a bad influence and I've been so terrible all these years, right? Then it should be, now that I'm not your life, you should be on top of the world. I don't know about y'all, but anytime I've ever released anything that was holding me back, I always grew to greatness. I always grew to greater. Anytime I removed anything or anybody that was holding me back, that wasn't contributing, that wasn't doing, I always rose up. So when do you start to rise up? Since I was, all of that. When do you start to rise up? When do you start getting up to the sky? On Delta or on something?
Somebody's playing Jesus. I think that was like the most of it, though.
I told y'all to be patient with me through this live today. I never in a million years, the same way I said I never would have thought that I would not be in a home with my kids every single night and see my kids every day because I'm in the home with them every day, is the same way I feel when it comes to, I never would have thought that I would be dealing with this with someone that I once loved, to the point that I married and had 4 children with and worked hard to build things with. I never in a million years would have thought that, but yet here
That's
you
crazy.
are.
Jamie, Muted.
You muted.
I said that's heavy as fuck, actually.
It is.
Yes, I was shook. I am afraid for men
Mm-hmm.
because this man is not tired. And later on in the video, she starts talking about how the devil don't get tired, and how the devil and it'll be a spirit inside someone.
She did talk
And
about
she
that.
talked about that, and I feel like that's what's taking over Martel. But the thing that bothers me is the way that the cast members went up for Martel this season and in previous seasons, yet no one has said anything, knowing that this shit has been confirmed, is disgusting. And just,
That's the MO.
yeah, it's just disgusting because this man is abusive and this man is a danger. He's a danger. And it bothers me because she questions and she says, when does it end? When do you begin to heal? And the fact that he still hasn't gotten there yet alarms me. And one thing that a narcissist hates is being embarrassed or exposed. So knowing that she had to speak on this, I feel like she's also doing that for her safety, to keep everybody
Mm-hmm.
along the road of what's going on. And I'm disgusted, and I don't want her anywhere near the show. I don't want her near the castmates, and I hope that
For
this
sure.
is the end. She also mentions later on in the video how she's been having a lot of dreams about death. She feels like there has to be a death inside of her to move on to something new. But she was very broad with that statement. It didn't sound like it
Ominous.
was direct. Yeah, it didn't sound like it was directed towards the show, but it was.
Yeah, it could be death of like old ways or something.
It
Always
should be of the
thinking.
show. It
I'm
should be of the
glad
show.
it
It needs
should
to
be
be
of
the
the
show.
show. I'm glad you said abusive, Nisi, because that's exactly what I was thinking in my head. Because I saw a woman make a post the other day, and she's a talent agent out here, and she was just talking about her situation with her current husband trying to unalive her while her child was right there in the bed or whatever. But thank God, it didn't happen. But she found out he took images of her and sent them out to all of these people. And when I'm listening to this story, all I'm thinking about is that situation. And I'm thinking about this is a form of abuse. But when you see Martel on other platforms, people want to give him so much grace and all of this and that. And it's like abuse does not have to be physical. But I feel like you can make this, like, this can be added to physical, you know what I'm saying,
Yes.
because of the toll that it takes on her body when you're having to deal with this type of stress, from a person. It's giving every bit of dangers. It's giving Mr. CK.
Once the end game.
How do you what's the end game? When you hear this information, what are your thoughts about it as far
He
as
knew
you
about that
parading him
already.
around to go to these different interviews
And
and
that's
stuff?
exactly. I'm like, he knew that when all them interviews was happening, and you want to talk about Mel letting go of her husband's hand and all of that, knowing that he's doing this type of shit behind the scenes, that is disgusting. And you know what it reminded me of? Do you remember when they were hinting at a tape with Miss Van and the Scott
Oh,
brother?
Mm-hmm.
Where did y'all get that from?
Right.
Because now it makes me feel like Marceau and Martel had been talking to each other about that shit back then. Like, that's why I don't like these types of niggas. Because essentially, y'all always try to malign women when y'all can't get y'all way with trying to make the women seem like they're a hoe or something like that. When really you're the hoe. And everybody knows it. Okay? You're not choosy about your peen. It's obvious. So I'm floored at the fact that everybody's around Mel and continue to act like nothing's really happening and he's not as dangerous as he is when he really is dangerous as fuck. Like, that's crazy for you to want to do. That's the mother of your kids, and you would have her forever be embarrassed by putting a video out of her and you the other person. Like,
all this because he was mad that at the reunion she said she couldn't remember if she, what was it, received it.
yes.
I'm sure that's whenever
That's
it
what,
was like,
yes.
that's what ignited him to, yeah.
It's crazy, especially after we know that you was over there eating Ariane ass because she told Mel. So, you want to be mad about putting your mouth on people. You should have kept your mouth, to yourself.
I'm disgusted. My skin just crawled.
Y'all, that shit is crazy to me when she was talking about that. And I can tell, like, just by listening to the tone of her voice, that she's tired. Like, I literally went to my Discord after I watched it, like, sis is tired. because you could just hear it. And
Yes.
I'm tired
if
for her.
you know or ever been in a relationship with a narcissist, you know how that's what they want. They just want to tire you out. They come at you from every front, and it's exhausting. I'm so glad that he was stupid and lazy in some respect, because if he had been as meticulous as she is, this would not look this way.
My thing is this though. How dare you? Like, this the mother of your kids.
Mm-hmm.
And all because you can't get your way and you're not getting your way is because you fucked it up. You decide that you want to leak some stuff out on this lady.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just I can't. I just can't. Not you wanting to put her out there, not thinking about how it's going to damage your kids in any type of capacity, but then also want to turn around and take the lady to court to get custody of the kids too.
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay?
Mm-hmm. Like, in my mind, I was thinking, is this not enough for her to get full custody? Is this not enough? But
I'm surprised they still in court. I thought it would
she
have
said
been
it's over
wrapped
now.
up. Oh,
She
it's
said it's
over.
over.
So she's good with the kids. Okay. That
Mm-hmm.
must be what it
She said
is.
nothing changed.
Nothing changed. Just a waste of time and a waste of money. And he only sent them all these steps back because y'all not going forward. And
If
then
I was
it's
her,
just
I would
that.
move houses right now. You picking them kids up in Walmart parking lot.
Mm, mm. Very sad. I hate that. I hate she had to go through that, or really still going through it, because I believe y'all said she cried on the live or something. She got pretty emotional. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
something she's still continuing to go through with him. Like, it's crazy. Anything else that y'all wanted to say about this matter?
No, I mean, Mel is covered. This just really made me emotional. Just like, this is disgusting, and it's real life scary.
And it's a
Um,
tactic a lot of these weak as NIGGAs do. Like, it's just
yeah,
they think they can, make you less than by putting stuff out like that. It's just like, you whack, bro. And I wish she would have did it, because she would have sued the dog fuck out of him.
I want her to
The dog fuck
continue to
out of
speak
him.
on stuff like this. Like, she needs to for her protection. Um, and I would love to see her castmates say something.
Defend her, say even, right is right, wrong is wrong, for God's sakes.
Say
but
something.
but can we talk about the fact that what was the point of bringing Karson around?
Hmm.
Because
That
I
was a
have
good
to I
question.
have to understand, like, she was brought to more than just one event.
What other
um
event did she go to?
she was at the INS wine event last season,
Oh,
and
I didn't know that.
then
Oh, I do remember her.
I don't.
like,
I remember.
I don't. But and then she's gonna be at the Expo.
Doing what?
Well, she's a hairstylist, so she might just be showcasing her business at the Black Expo.
But see, my thing is, I don't really care about the wine and all of this. I don't care about her going to the wine event, the expo. My thing is the tea for me, because Mel specifically said you could bring a +1.
Mm-hmm.
How did this person make it that close to the table? Because it's one thing for you to be an extra in the back,
Marceau.
and then for you to get that close to get a seat at the table.
And that's the thing.
Literally.
The girl said in her video that Marceau is the one that, like, kind of hooked her up to do Tisha's hair. So that's why I said I felt like he possibly wanted to fuck her, and so he wanted to bring her close, because they know that it's easier for them to fuck with people once they bring them into the circle, or once they bring them into their, their friend circle or whatever. It's easier because, she comes somewhere with her husband, or you see her around, it makes sense, versus that if it's some strange girl that's just hanging around. So when he sought her out the way he did, that was suspect as fuck to me. All for her to be doing Tisha's hair, as if the last person that we heard was doing Tisha's hair, we didn't hear that he was fucking with that person as well. So I'm like, do you have a thing for making people do Tisha's hair and fucking them? Like, I don't know what's going on there. But it definitely, and then she said that he let her borrow his car. To me, it sounds like a man that is trying to form a romantic, like, sneaky link relationship with a
Hold
woman.
on, girl. These people here, girl, not letting the lady borrow the car too.
Yeah. She said it in her video. That's why I was like, girl, it sounded like he was trying to fuck you. Like, that's what it sounded like to me. And you actively, like, working with Tisha, and then you was doing Wanda's hair, put her wig on at the reunion or whatever.
Their hair was
Like
looking a lot better though.
it
I could tell
was.
when she started doing their hair.
No, she's good. She does good hair. But you know, and we do believe like you probably got the attention for your work. But when we find out this backstory about Ariane and they keep bringing you around, and Jamie, to your point, the tea was the moment for the shit to be dropped. But essentially, how many times were you gonna bring her around just so y'all can get used to her being around before that tea was dropped? It just seemed very strategic to me on all ways. Even if Tisha didn't know, I feel like Marceau knew.
Well, then I also
Yeah.
feel like it makes it difficult for me to not question production then.
Absolutely.
Oh, are we surprised?
I mean, don't we think Carlos knew about everything beforehand and probably told Marceau you should invite them to this? Like, I mean, just the way we feel like Carlos is responsible for Sheree and Martel. Like, you can
Oh
act
yeah,
like it's
we know
somebody
that.
else, but it's giving
Mutual
you're the
friend.
link. Yeah.
Oh, fair. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Girl, that is the
And
mess.
Sheree looking stupid as fuck.
Fucking
Speaking of
dodo bird.
which, speaking of which,
Oh god.
let's get into Sheree. Let's go ahead and switch
She said
gears
to
real quick.
Tyrone, "You got me out here looking stupid as fuck, dumb as
Dumb as
fuck."
fuck.
Yeah, yeah, you are.
And
Somebody
still,
replay the clip.
to this
Replay the
day.
clip. That's your man.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, I can't.
And she gonna stick
Um,
beside him.
like a dummy, as he's sitting in her face on the next episode, talking about he ain't got feelings for a male. First of all, if a man sitting up there talking to you for girl any amount of minutes about his ex, he's still stuck on that. I don't care nothing. I don't care. I don't care nothing about it. Um, Thank you so much for the super chat, Gwen Starts. Thank you, ladies, for your efforts each Thursday to give us great content and thought provoking dialogue. We appreciate you all. Side note, Karson was on Queen Sheba's live tonight, so she may have given more answers there. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that.